Greetings. Today, the moon goes into Sagittarius. So we shift from the Scorpio energy into fiery Sagittarius, where we are making sense of things, looking at the meaning and the bigger picture. We also have later today the first quarter moon, 1/4 of the way through the current moon cycle, and it will be in Sagittarius at 11:24 p.m. Pacific time, so early Sunday morning, depending on your time zone. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, August 30th. So, 1/4 of the way through the moon cycle that began with the new moon at 0 degrees Virgo. We are in Virgo season. We are focusing on the tangible, the rolling up our sleeves, looking at the details, figuring out how we can improve, perfect, repair, maintain, right? How can we get things put in motion that are going to help us be more efficient, have things run more smoothly, and ultimately be more effective in whatever it is we are doing? So with the first quarter moon, we come to that point where there is, at the first quarter or the third quarter, there is a square between the sun and the moon, putting some pressure to make a decision. So there's a need to take the wheel, to steer something in a certain direction, to decide where you stand on something. And this may require stepping up a little bit. It may require committing to new beliefs, new identities, new ways of being. So, whatever has been moving through you in recent days with the moon in Scorpio, right, those deeper energies, processing, feeling, and what is transforming or moving below the surface. Now we need to begin with the Sagittarius moon to make sense of it, understand what's been going on, be able to tell the story and put it into words, maybe share with someone, or maybe just be clear for yourself on what it is that is becoming your truth, right? What is emerging into the light of day? What is becoming real or true that maybe you couldn't see before? And the Sagittarius moon energy helps us to put that into either a story that, a story we can tell, how we can describe what we're feeling, or put things in a way that we can that we can hold on to and carry forward as maybe some sort of guiding light or beacon or bigger picture perspective that helps us remember why we're doing what we're doing. So with the first quarter moon then in Sagittarius, we have that need to step up to, okay, this is how we are going to see ourselves. This is how we are going to make a choice about what's important to us, about how we see the world, how we want to talk about it, how we want to define it for ourselves, right? So how we make sense of something so that we can use that as an operating principle. Sagittarius, among other things, has to do with theories. So, how you connect the dots and see the patterns and come up with a theory or an explanation of truth that you can share or offer to others. So that's why Sagittarius energy has to do with teaching, higher education, broadcasting, publishing, right? So it's about how we make sense of something and then come to a conclusion or have a story that we want to tell, and then how we offer that or share that with others. And in some cases, it might just be sharing it with yourself, right? So you get clear about what your operating theory or principle or what's important to you is in that bigger picture. And then you can come back to that. You can remind yourself, oh, here's what I wrote down because it felt important and I wanted to remember it. And it's going to be my guiding light going forward. So, what is emerging for you that brings more clarity, more understanding, more truth that you can write down or capture in some way to remind yourself of what you've been discovering? So, and then this is that Virgo moon cycle. So we are focusing on how can we do something, right? How can we improve our situation and our circumstances? How can we invest or offer ourselves in service to a bigger picture, right? A principle of what is important to us. How can we get to work, right? Roll up our sleeves, do that next action step, that next task, do that thing that helps you to implement the things that are important to you. So sometimes the first step on getting started is to figure out what's important to you and then ask yourself, what can I do to move in that direction? And I would like to also remind and affirm here um, that you can also tell yourself, you are doing enough. Because I think it can feel overwhelming when we see the problems in the world and we feel like we could never possibly do enough, right? So it's actually a revolutionary act to say, I am doing enough. And that feeling can actually free up your energy. And actually, in reality, it might inspire you to do more, right? Right? Because you've let the pressure off yourself and now you're not doing this internal battle over what you've accomplished or haven't accomplished, but say to yourself, I've done enough, not as a way to say there's nothing I can do or there's nothing to be done, right? We're not saying that. What we're saying is you are doing enough as it is. And that is that perfect way to approach energy. Virgo energy is to say it's perfect as it is. It's good enough. It's worthy. It is good enough just as it is. And and we can keep doing more, right? We can keep learning and growing and improving and perfecting. There's always more to do. But when we accept ourselves as worthy and doing enough and good enough as we are, it frees us up to be able to focus, to be able to get that clarity and identify that next action step. So that Virgo energy is underlying what we're moving through and learning about right now. And so when we think about self-care, we can think about, first of all, accepting yourself as you are, saying, I'm doing enough. And then also asking, what is really important to me and what is something I can do, the next action step I can do to move forward because there is work to do, right? So it's not about doing all of it, it's about figuring out what you can do. And so that's all we can do, right? We're human. We are each a tiny tiny drop in the ocean, but every drop matters. Say, right? Contradictory truths, but they are both true. um, that we are small and also our efforts matter. So there's a pep talk for you. We also have the moon forming today a grand trine as it passes through the early Sagittarius, and there is a trine from Venus to Saturn. So fire sign, grand trine with Saturn in Aries, Venus in Leo, and the moon in Sagittarius. Thinking about that grand trine energy is also supportive. It is opening doors. So whatever you can, the open door doesn't matter if you don't walk through it, right? So it's how are you going to take that next step and the next step and the next step? And you start with where you're at right now and accepting that it's good enough as it is. And also, maybe there's something for you to do next. All right. That is my thoughts for today. We have Sagittarius Moon all weekend. Well, after it goes into Sagittarius on Saturday morning Pacific time. What did I say? 7 something a.m. And then on Sunday, I probably won't give you an update this week on Sunday because I'm going to be doing my talk for OPA live. So hopefully you can join me there. The link to my talk, Why Witches Use Brooms, The Secret Superpower of Virgo, is in the description for this video. It is not something I'm offering. It's being put on by OPA, the Organization for Professional Astrology. So you do need to go to their website to register. The link for the talk is not in the description for this video. What's in the description for this video is the link to go sign up to get the link for the talk. So do that. And there is a small fee if you're not a member of OPA. But it's going to be a great talk. So I hope you can join me there, and I will probably post a repost of a video from the past, one of my wonderful conversations that I have had with fellow astrologers. So enjoy that, and I will hopefully see you in my OPA talk, Why Witches Use Brooms, A Secret Superpower of Virgo, diving deep into the evolutionary purpose of Virgo energy. And hopefully see you there. Thank you for being here and subscribing to this YouTube channel. Learn more about me at astrologyheals.com and lots of more information to glean in the description for this video, along with that link to how to sign up for the Virgo talk. All right, see you next time. I will be back on Monday, and bye for now.